Were you aware when you received Minnie about, how long ago was it, about 12 years ago? Were you aware that she was the monster, or would become the monster that she is today? Little is known about the creature as a whole, but after studying her for the duration of the week, I acquired a few key observations. For one thing, she tends to eat at around the same time every day. This habitual practice is key to understanding the nature of this creature, as is her propensity to lie in the sun, ask regularly to be held, and fight over food with a stuffed dog toy. Her frequent desire to be held by her owners could be a sign of docility, but given the creature's dark history, it is far more likely that it is actually an act of aggression. Perhaps she is trying to lower the guard of the one holding her, or perhaps it is the result of a cognitive function only the creature herself knows. The fights the creature initiates with the dog toys are likely narcissistic in nature. The creature believes she is important, which therefore means to her that her food is important. So important, in fact, that everyone around her must be envious of it, and she believes that winning a fight is the only way to prove her superiority. As for her daily habit of lying in the sun, we believe this must be related to the physiological components of the creature that we are not yet educated on. Perhaps the sun is, at least in part, the source of her power. However, given the fact that others have witnessed the creature shed her skin like a snake in order to continue living, it seems more likely that the sun softens her flesh and makes it easier to shimmy out of when the time comes to shed it. Most important in my studies on the creature, however, are the opinions of those who have lived with the creature for quite some time. What do you two think of Minnie?
She is a dog.
I think that she is repulsive.
What do you think of Minnie?
Minnie is the good dog, and she's not the bad dog, and she's the good dog. Is that right? Yeah, that's right.
Thank you.
Yeah, yes.
Now, I want to thank you for taking the time to speak with me today. I know you're quite busy, and I know our last attempts at conversation were unfruitful, and that our last interview caused you to have a bit of an episode, a spell, if you will, so I do apologize for that and for the stress that the making of this documentary has put on you and your family, but I have spoken with the other members of your household, and I just feel that as the patriarch of the family, it's quite necessary to get your opinion on the dog, or what we think is the dog. So I was just wondering what your thoughts are on Minnie, how you deal with the danger of her being in your house, because we know that she is a danger. We've seen her past behavior, we've seen all the things that she has done, so we know that she's a danger, and I guess I'm just wondering how you go about protecting your family with this creature in the house. You don't know? I went on to inspect quite a few things about the creature, such as her habits of urination and defecation, her morning and nighttime routines, and her persistent issue of profuse vomiting. I discovered that, when the creature thought she was alone, her visual appearance would change quite drastically. It's unknown how or why the creature deforms herself in this way, but I believe she is used to changed appearance in the past for nefarious reasons. Not long after a member of the household once witnessed her visual transformation, 3 cats in the neighborhood were found mysteriously dead, and the creature seemed less than concerned. In short, we don't know nearly as much about this creature as we would like, but I believe in time more truths will come to the surface. The findings I present here are coming to a close, but before we finish up, please hear a word from our sponsors. On that note, we thank our sponsors for making this documentary possible, and we encourage you to remember, above all else, that monsters can come in all shapes and sizes. Thank you for watching.